Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Devon from Safe Haven Music, and today we have a very special guitar here with us. This one is a 1985 BC Rich Bich in Transparent Sunburst. Yeah, this guitar is absolutely loaded with tons of crazy tones. These preamp controls are very similar to what you find on like the old 70s alembics that were really getting famous with like the Grateful Dead guys, and because they were putting those in their guitars. And BC Rich was really great to start doing this back then too, because I started putting it on more of a commercial platform for more artists to see and recognize and even buy these in stores. And especially with these types of guitars, some really famous players that are known for using these are like Dave Mustaine, Chris Poland, especially in the early days of Megadeth, and even Slash had some of these on stage, these and Mockingbirds too. From the front, it almost just looks like a regular cherry sunburst, but on the sides, it's got this transparent purple metallic, very fine flake that's kind of happening, very thin layer on the burst edge of the finish, and it just looks really shocking in the light. If you can tell, this one's actually in very, very good condition for its age. So this guitar was refreshed in the best way possible while still maintaining the original soul of the guitar. Usually with these electronic systems back then, sometimes some of the wire were just kind of frayed off. After some time, the original owner of this guitar ended up swapping out the entire electronics with a Neal Moser brand version as well as the bridge. So everything's functioning perfectly well here and at the bridge, but we still maintain the original soul of having the original DiMarzios actually in here. So this one's a DiMarzio Super Distortion, and it's DiMarzio PAF Pro, which absolutely just sound huge, and it sounds, of course, like a big 80s sounding guitar, because I mean that's what it is. Especially with these pickups back then, they were definitely made a little bit different than the way they are today. You can really hear that. It's very audible. The original tuners are also with the case, but they end up getting a replacement of Grover Rotomatics with the Imperial tips. So again, everything's functioning like brand new, but we still have that old soul with the guitar. To get started with the control layout, when I first picked up this guitar, I was like, oh my god, this thing is like a spaceship. Once you get used to the electronics layout, it's honestly very easy. So I'll start from left to right. So here we have our master volume. This is just going to roll off the volume on the entire guitar. Next volume is actually the neck volume. That is the only other volume on this guitar. There's no like actual bridge pickup volume, just the neck volume. So I'm guessing that was there because it's the 80s. I mean, Ace did it too. You'd roll off the neck volume and then you'd use your toggle to actually give yourself a kill switch. So that's kind of some great functionality right there. And then over to the right of it was the master tone. And then these two dip switches right here, each one is a coil split per pickup, so you can actually mix your coil splitting when you're in that middle position right there, which helps quite a lot. And then the next couple sets here is all the special electronics. So with our dip switches here on the left-hand side. So now onto the fun side of the electronics with this guitar. With the kill switches starting here, this one's your first preamp, and this would be the volume of that first preamp. This one is for your second preamp, and the volume for that second preamp. And this one is your out of phase switch, and here is a baritone. With all of this in mind, especially for the preamp specifically, usually when most people think of a preamp, people are thinking maybe like a little bit of EQ, a little bit of gain. These have a lot of gain on them. Very, very cool. You'd be surprised what you can actually put together once you start messing with all the electronics. I'm going to start with a little bit of a clean tone and just get some basic sounds going right now. And we'll go through just about everything that is on this guitar. So the signal chain that we have going for this video is, of course, our Quad Cortex again. But this one here we have modeled in with our distortion amp being a EVH 100 watt 6L6 Stealth in the red channel. And then our clean amp is a Fender Twin. What we're using for our distorted amp cab, we have a Zilla 212 Fat Boy with V30s. And then for our cabinet on our Fender Twin, we've got a Fender Twin 212 combo cab. So just matching the amp that we're using with that. Going straight into our unit, we're using Happy cables. We've got them. They sound the best. We love using them. The orange is here just for volume in the room because I'm going straight into the return with that. We'll start with the bridge pickup. Everything else is off, no splitting, no out of phase. Then we have our middle position. And then we have our neck position. And now we'll try some coil splitting. So bridge pickup, coil split. And then our neck pickup, split. And then we'll get the middle position, both of them split. And just because people do that out there, they'll mix up the splits too. So first we'll try that same middle position, but with the bridge full on and the neck split. And then we'll try the other way too. So that'll be neck full on and then the bridge split. Next up we have actually the out of phase switch. So that was out of phase in the middle. Next up we have our baritone on the side right here. 6 positions too. You can tell it sounds really big and really deep. So we'll cycle back out of it, but we'll also turn on the out of phase switch to see what else that can sound like. The out of phase switch and the baritone together is really where the baritone shines like that, so you're able to get that kind of cocked wah type of sound. Next up, let's try some of these preamps. So we're going to try them clean first, and then you're going to see what it sounds like once you actually put some gain on it, because for all the death metal hardcore guys out there who love that HM2 sound, that is definitely the combination for that, which it's very unique, you'll see. So first let's try preamp 1. So as you can tell, it's definitely kind of getting that more fuzz tone type of sound. I compare it to almost like, if it's using a preamp, almost like going to a console and like turning up the gain on and kind of getting that sound. Then we have the second preamp right here, which to me sounds a bit more squishy and a bit more nasally. It's a bit weaker than the other, but when you stack them together, that's when all the crazy stuff starts to happen. And then if you want to go more crazy altogether, then you start flipping all the switches and doing tons of combinations. So I'm going to try both preamps on, out of phase, in the middle. Let's coil tap both, and let's go, let's say on that position on the baritone, and just see what happens. So already that started to sound crazy. So let's try throwing a little gain on it. Let's stay in the same tonal spot that I'm at right now. Again, both preamps on, out of phase, both pickups split. Baritone is in the, I think, the 4th position spot. Let's see. Yeah, it sounds insane. So we tried both preamps on with the baritone on. So let's see what it sounds like when we just use both preamps in phase and the baritone's off. So you can see what that'll sound like. This guitar is like a lot of fun to play. It really like encapsulates like a very specific time in the 80s and the way that guitars were being made, the way they were being played, and even the way that they sounded, especially because these old pickups are like a time machine. Even if you were to get the same exact set made by DeMarzio today, it's definitely not going to sound like the way that they did back in the day. We have tons of really cool gear on the website. Definitely check out our Instagram and the website for more guitars that we have on sale and really cool deals. We'll see you.